Today on denpamob.church we're going to show how to skin and eat a rabbit that you found in the middle of the park. Hello and welcome to denpamob.church. Hello and welcome to the only YouTube channel where the rabbit you were planning on skinning and eating runs away. Hello and welcome to denpamob.church, the only YouTube channel called denpamob.church. Yeah, boy. I am fucking frustrated. You know how frustrated I am? I am frustrated. I am frustrated. I got a job. Started 2 days ago. It's only day 2. And I'm already insanely frustrated. Insanely frustrated. Just frustrated beyond all reason. So frustrated I want to come out and just be outside. Ride my bike like 3 miles just to be around trees. I'm not allowed to talk about my new job. It's one of those jobs that destroys culture and civilization because they don't let people talk about the job. Man, I hate that shit. NDA bullshit. Shouldn't exist. It's one of those things that shouldn't exist. I've been smoking Camel Crush lately because they don't have the jades. No jade, only Camel Crush. Don't really like it that much. Makes me just wish I was smoking weed again. Maybe we will. Maybe we will smoke weed again. You know, maybe that's the cycle I'm meant to be on. Smoke weed till I have a psychotic break and then say I'm not going to smoke again, and then 6 months later I'm smoking weed again. I just want to die. Oh God, I just want to die. I hate everything right now. Welcome to denpamob.church, the only YouTube channel where you can see Jolly Lane have an existential crisis because she's working again. I have the tripod for this, but I'm too lazy to pull it out of my pocket. Maybe I should. Welcome to denpamob.church, the only YouTube channel where you can see Jolly Lane struggle to put a tripod together. In the second person. Ow! I burned myself on my cigarette. So yeah, new job, frustrating bullshit training, corporatized corporate speak, gamified corporate speak, bullshit, shenaniganry. It sucks. I hate it. It sucks and I hate it. And I hate being told that I need to wait 3 hours to do something, and then 3 hours later they say, oh, you should like get in line, even though I was already in line to do it. I hate shit. And I hate having to use social media. And I hate needing to talk to people and tell them about my progress. And I hate everything. And I hate these interconnected systems that are like supposed to make things easier but just make things more complicated. And I hate it all, and it all sucks, and it's really frustrating. And this is about as much detail as I'm allowed to say. Hopefully the actual fucking job, which hasn't really started yet because I don't have all the equipment for it, will be better. Hopefully it'll be better. It should be better considering the fact that it's doing cool things with cool stuff. But you know, you have to deal with all the corporate bullshit and the things and the overhead and the garbage that makes it all shitty in the name of productivity, that just slows everything down and makes jobs for people when those jobs shouldn't fucking exist in the first place. But no, we need to make jobs for people, because otherwise people wouldn't have anything to do. You know, what would a person do if they just had free time to do whatever they wanted to do, and they had, like, you know, enough income that they could engage in those things, and they like didn't have to worry about like housing. But no, we need to create bullshit jobs for people so that they have jobs, so that they have something to do during the day, because apparently you can't trust people to use their time in a way that's beneficial to themselves. I watched some Christopher Nemelka videos the other day again. I go in cycles, you know. I ignore people for a while, and then like, oh, what have they been up to for the past year? And for a while, Christopher Nemelka had all of the videos on their channels all taken down, but now they're all up again, and there's new ones. I feel like calling in at some point and playing the role of a demon and being like, okay, so all of this is cool and all, but like, what's in it for me? A demon who hates everything and doesn't want anything to get better. I just want everyone to be miserable the way I'm miserable. Then that's the only way I'll be happy, is if everyone is miserable. But see, everyone is miserable. I don't know. He does call-in shows where people ask questions, and it's kind of ridiculous. He has this like these claims about these people that he associates with, calling them currently the real Illuminati, and how they've been alive since like for 10,000 years or something, probably longer, I don't know. And that they don't have blood or whatever in their bodies. They just are they just have a nervous system. And he has like what's called the Urim and Thummim, and he says that it's a future past electronics, like electronics from the past civilization that were embedded in resin and or amber or whatever. And they won't reveal it because people would want to dissect it and figure out how it works, and then reproduce the technology. And he said that instead what they're going to do is wait until humans have reached the point where that kind of technology exists, and then they're going to show it, because that's not how a charlatan does things. And he's like, I can answer any question as long as the question is on topic and relevant, and as long as it's like approved by me. But you can ask any question, I can answer any question about anything at all, as long as it's like relevant to the discussion, and not a, you know, I'm not going to let you soapbox or whatever. You know, I'm not here to let you advertise your shit. This is my world and you're in it. And it's such an interesting thing, because it's like, it's super close-minded, and the people don't get it. Like, I view it as somewhat beneficial, because Mormons are, his target audience is like people who are Mormon and questioning, and it's like, these people do need to like wake the fuck up and realize that their religion is bullshit, because their religion causes so much fucking problems. But like, they immediately leave the church and like become devout followers of him. And he's like constantly saying shit like, oh, don't let anyone, don't believe in gods, or don't believe in things, like don't believe in you know, these people. And then people believe in him and believe in the shit he's saying, and like, oh, he's actually Jesus Christ. And it's like, no, he's just a guy. He said it himself many times. I don't know how you deal with that shit. By the way, I'm Jesus Christ, and everyone should worship me, by the way. I just wanted to throw that out there now. Since people didn't know that before, you know, I need to come clean. I'm actually Jesus Christ, and everyone who doesn't worship me is evil. And also, you should think for yourself, and you shouldn't believe in any gods. But I'm Jesus Christ, and you need to worship me. Oh my God, it's frustrating. I'm just so irritated right now. That felt better. You ever just go out into like the woods and just strip off all of your clothes and run around naked? Yeah, sounds like a good time. I'm losing my mind. I'm so irritated by shit that doesn't matter. And then I have this like weird sense of urgency, like if I don't do it well, if I don't perform well at this thing that I don't give a shit about at all, then I'm gonna lose the thing I don't care about at all. And then I'll be frustrated. And so it's like, it's constantly in my brain. I'm like, I'm out here doing this, but I should be in there. I should be in at home doing the thing that they told me to do, even though I don't need to be doing it right now. And there's no point at all to doing it. And also, I don't care in the first place. I don't care at all in the first place. So it's like, why the fuck am I so urgent about it? Why do I feel like I have to do such a good job? No one else feels like they have to do a fucking good job. They just clock in and clock out or whatever. But no, I feel like if I'm not like the best, then I'm the worst, and I'm useless. And why do I feel that way? I don't know the rules. I'm not really a YouTuber, right? I watch videos and I make videos. I leave comments. I hardly ever like anything. There's certain commenters you see like over and over because, you know, the same audience follows the same kind of sphere, right? I'm talking more generally than my own group at this point. It's fun seeing the same couple of people pop up here and there every now and then. Is then you feel like, oh, I too have been in this place at this point. That's that like extreme power of that this YouTube save point. When the algorithm knows you need to go back to that place, and you can see the logs of all these people there. Maybe you'll leave your own, maybe you won't. I don't know. I think I may have left one there at some point. So many comments on that, oh my gosh. Someone should find a way to publish that as like a book. That would be amazing. I wonder what kind of legal shit that would happen. Nightmare. You have to do it under copy down. It's the only way. Most people could get behind that. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah. Commenter culture, I don't get it. What are you supposed to do if you are friends with a commenter? I don't know. I don't know any of the signals or any of the lingo. Don't know any of it. How do you learn that? Just be a part of it growing up? Too fast. What is it called? Blade Runner. Are they called Nexus? The Nexus 6 or something? I think that's what they're called, Nexuses. Just too fast. Oh, the things I have seen with your eyes. Yeah. What's a C-beam? What is a C-beam? Don't know. I always think of like I-beams when I think of C-beams. I don't know if that's even remotely what it's like. So exhausted. I'm like so exhausted. It sucks. Being just this like past couple days, it's like it sucks so bad. How do you rationalize it? I don't know how I can rationalize being a part of it. Putting my activity towards it. It has to be a good thing if I'm doing that, and I don't think it is. I have to hope that at some point it will be made open. Have I mentioned how much I hate the whole job thing already? How much security bullshit? So there's this hypothetical company that's doing something where hypothetically it's the limitation is in the network, as in network speeds. That's where the real bottleneck is. And it's like, are you talking about consumers or corporate enterprise? Like, what point are you talking about? Where in the chain are you talking about? Because I have the perspective of like on the ground floor consumer. You know, having a 30 megabit up connection is good, right? That's a good speed. And never in the United States have I ever had symmetrical connections. It's always more download than upload. Hypothetically, the reason is because corporations use more of the upload chunk of the spectrum or whatever, so they are able to sell that at a higher rate to those companies. But the real issue here is, like, why hasn't the infrastructure at the ground floor been updated? Why is it not getting updated? You know, you build roads, but then, like, you just stop. You just, like, we're not building any more roads now, even though we know how, and it's not terribly difficult to do. So, how much effort is this hypothetical organization putting into improving the infrastructure? That's my question. Because that seems like, you know, at a certain point, you have the pull to do it, to like get into that space and start trying to innovate in that space. And the innovation is nothing crazy. It's putting like more lines up, updating routers. It's you know, it's that. You take an old Cisco and put in a new one. Wow, suddenly it's faster. Suddenly there's more. It's like essentially the problem. Those old routers find homes in other places. What are you talking about? Don't be sad for the routers. You know how many like small to mid-tier businesses would kill for secondary market trunk routers? I have these Node little microchips that they're called ESP8622, 8266. One of those. And I've had them for a while, and I have no idea what I want to do with them. Not a clue. I just like wanted to have them. When I saw them, I was like, oh my god, I need these. I don't know what for. They're just too powerful magic. It's just like this tiny little chip that has Wi-Fi and a little microcomputer, all this stuff in it. I wonder if I could like build a mesh network with them, or like what would the throughput be between that if I did that. Probably pretty trash, but you know, for fun, you know, that was the idea, to do it for fun. Build a tiny little ant hive or whatever. Power them with little solar panels. You know, that was one idea I had for it. And then I have another idea of like, well, I could use it as the base for a musical instrument. Make one of those like lumatones things. With like all the little buttons that glow individually. It would probably take more than one to make that. You connect two of them together for that. So then it would be able to communicate wirelessly. Another idea was putting Plan 9 on it somehow. Uxin as well. Making it speak 9p at least, you know, not necessarily going full Plan 9. Although I don't see any reason why it wouldn't run. It seems like it probably would. It'd be a really cute platform for Plan 9 system. Little ESP microcomputer. So like there's like all these ideas, but I've never settled on one. And then I have like art ideas, and it's like I don't know which one to do. And I have this paralysis. What if I suck and I do a bad job with it because I suck at everything? Was that authentic enough? Was that authentic enough? Wow. I'm a no thank you. You're screaming in the back of my head saying it's all artistry. It's all bullshit. I planned it all. It was all scripted. It's not true. Hi, I'm new here, but I just don't understand why we don't just open source everything. And, yeah, you know, because then we wouldn't have to worry about security or anything like that. We could just, you know, put it out there. And so it would no longer be something that we have to protect and fight over. And we can pull requests from people who have their own improvements, and suddenly the product gets exponentially better. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. I just can't fathom why we have to waste all of this effort on making sure it's safe and to protect it. Right? This is like a not insignificant amount of resources. If it's open and available to everyone, you don't have to worry about that. And then we can focus on worrying about making things better. And just, you know, those people who are working on security, they have skills that are useful. I just don't get it. I just don't see it. I just don't see why it's a problem, or why it's something that's inconceivable. If you're concerned about like, oh, someone just stealing the thing, is like, is that the only thing you have? Is the fact that we have it? We have all these resources that kids in the fucking basements don't have. Infrastructure, first of all. Honestly, on the second thing, we should be leveling the playing field there too. 100 megabit symmetrical should be in every fucking household. I don't know why the fuck it isn't. Makes no goddamn sense to me. Trying to read the Constitution. The Constitution, full text, from constitutioncenter.org. Okay, so Section 1 is Congress. Section 2 is the House of Representatives. Section 3 is the Senate. Section 4 is elections. Times, places, manner, and holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. The Congress may at any time, by law or by such alter such regulations, except as to the placing of choosing senators. So states can choose senators however the fuck they want. Okay, well, cool. I don't think legislative powers by Congress. Powers denied by Congress. Let's see. Find in page 30. No person shall be a senator who has not attained the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen of the United States. Okay. No person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible for the office of President. Neither shall any person eligible to that office who shall not have attained the age of 35 years and been 14 years not eligible to the office who has not attained 35. I don't know. Is it 35 at the point where they become president, which is in January? Or is it 35 to even be available to be voted? But Vriska never did anything wrong. Fiction and reality are the same thing, but also if you're able to write something, then it's okay. If the characters struggle against what it is you're trying to write, then that's when you know you're doing the wrong thing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe you shouldn't write. Maybe writing's just not for you, you know? Same thing with drawing. But the thing about drawing is that, there are characters who look like other characters, and this personality doesn't want to do it, but this one does. There's so many divas. So many people are diva. If you're able to personify an idea, then that's the that idea has given you permission to personify it. True. Things are bad when I start watching Osaka Syndrome videos again. It's the pointlessness of it all, the nihilism. This comes creeping back in. And, there's been periods where Osaka Syndrome videos were a bit more optimistic, but generally as a person, Lily or however they're going by now, has had like brief periods of optimism, but always falls back into the same nihilistic spiral. Right now, I think there's probably some changes for the better, maybe going on. I'm interested to see how things go, but it's this focus on the past. This focus on the past that's like really it makes things hard to like progress from if you're constantly worried about what happened 5 years ago or whatever. And that's like a common like trope, I guess you could say, in Osaka syndrome videos. It's like something I try not to focus on at all. Is like ruminating on past shit. Probably more than I should. I probably should be a little bit more like reflective of the way things were. But yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. There's just not enough stuff. And I don't want to be watching like Vox videos and like that kind of stuff. It's you know, it's either an advertisement or it's an advertisement or it's an advertisement, and that's like the thing that I enjoy most about denpamob kind of shit, is that it's genuinely pretty, like, genuine. I mean, it's what it's about, and it's like expressing a certain kind of worldview and lifestyle and aesthetic all at the same time, and it doesn't like need to hide behind profitability and all this stuff. That's what I've enjoyed about making shit like that, is that I don't have to worry about is this going to be popular at all? Is it going to get views? Is it going to piss people off? I don't have to care about any of that. I can just make shit that I feel like I want to see, and then I can see it. But you know, the nihilism is like really prevalent, and it's something I'm trying to avoid, you know, in my day-to-day life, because it sucks. It sucks. I get enough nihilistic thoughts from just normal life when I'm watching something. I want to, you know, it's not like I want something unrelatable and optimistic and in a way that is you know, unrelatable or whatever. But I don't know, when I'm hearing thoughts that I've had like years ago, and these thoughts that like really drug me down, and being said by other people in the present day, it makes me frustrated. It's like, don't you just move from that point? Just like, that's a bad place to be. Move from it. And it's like I shouldn't be looking to people like Osaka syndrome for like the answer, you know, the answer to my problems, because that's stupid. It's stupid for a lot of reasons, but suffice to say, it's a dumb idea. But sometimes I feel like that's what I'm trying to find. It's bad. It's a bad situation. I don't like being called good when I'm not. But at the same time, I know that I'm fucking awesome, so it's kind of this problem, you know. People like will say, "Oh man, Jolly is doing some cool shit," and it's like, I haven't done cool shit in a while. It kind of sucks. I like have kind of regressed in a lot of ways, but on the other hand, it's like that cool shit still exists, and also it's not like I'm not doing anything. I mean, to some extent, yeah, I have been playing a lot of Pokemon Crystal lately. I've been playing Pokemon Arceus lately. I've been playing Diablo 2, you know, just trying to get my rhythm back, going back to some of my roots a little bit, and so it's not like I'm doing nothing. And I have been updating my website, thanks to No Thank You. You know, I blame No Thank You for all that fucking Palea mix. And if you want the story on that, well, too bad. I'm not saying it. It's definitely No Thank You's fault, though. But you know, it's not like I'm doing nothing. But on the same token, it's not like I'm doing anything super awesome. And it's kind of frustrating. It's kind of frustrating that, like, I'm in this situation where I have this body of work that, you know, the younger version of me would see it and be like, oh my god, this person's amazing, and then the current me is like, man, you ain't seen nothing yet. You know you ain't seen nothing yet because you have all this shit in your head, and you want to see that shit, and it's like I haven't progressed to the point where I'm able to create it. I haven't progressed to that point yet, and there's still like so much I need to fucking learn, and it's not like I'm doing a good job of learning that shit either. It's frustrating. It's a frustrating situation to be in, truly. So the question is like, well, how do I resolve this? And part of it is just be like, well, you know, I'm at the stage that I'm at right now, and I can do the shit that I want to do right now, and you know, keep plugging away at the things that I can do, in the ways that I can do it, and learn more as I go, and that's really the only way we can do anything, right? And you know, I'm mildly frustrated that I spent, you know, about 15, 20, 25-ish years living life and trying to follow a certain kind of pattern, a Mormon pattern for life, and then that's wrong for me, and it's not actually what I wanted, and it never was, and so then it's like, well, fuck, I have all this fucking baggage, that I just can't get rid of, and also all that time that I've wasted doing shit that, like, is not really relevant to the things that I actually wanted to do in the first place, and that's frustrating. But like, I can't really worry about that, you know. I can't really like go back in time and change it and be the same age that I am now, and then also have like all this experience, right? Like, I have all the experience that I have, and so it's like, is there a way to tie in that experience, tie in those experiences into a thing? Well, yeah, sure there are, but like the way that happens is like painful and full of regret, which is where my light novel, you know, it's part of processing that. So it's not like there's not things. And by the way, I have a light novel. I've read parts of it on this channel before. You'd have to like watch through the end of some of my videos that are more recent. I think there's like two 1 hour long videos, and they're at the end of those ones. Something to that effect. So I've been watching Denpa by No Thank You, on his second channel, and I don't think I ever finished it before, because I keep, you know, I watch like part of it and then I get distracted and I'll do something else. But I'm to part 3 this time, and there's like the talk about the lifestyle that Digi portrayed and how it's not really a sustainable lifestyle. And it's true, right? Like, trying to seek after that lifestyle is really, really stupid, because Digi is like the most successful person at attempting to emulate that lifestyle, and that's how successful it can be at the peak, right? And how successful is that? And what's the space in that? Like, how many Digis could there possibly be? And so if you just do back of the napkin kind of calculations on it, you see really quickly, like, no, this is not a good way of doing things. So what do you do instead? And I've done various things in the past, and the thought exists, like, oh well, try to be something similar to Digi but different, and it's like, no. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea, and I need to not have those thoughts. The shit that I produce and the kind of things that I make, I want them to be open and accessible to people. That's like important to me. So I can't monetize that shit, right? Like, Digi is currently monetizing some of the things that they write, or Trixie is monetizing some of the things that they write. You can subscribe to their writings at the Golden Witch or whatever. And I don't know how successful that is. They got like a no fans, OnlyFans. They got like an OnlyFans or whatever. It's like, that route, it's cringe. It's cringe to me, and it shouldn't like necessarily be held that way, right? It's not like I'm judgy or whatever. It's just not something that I want. It's something that's important to me to not have. And these things, like, these are self limitations that I have, and I could conceivably break from those, but it's not in keeping with what I really believe and think. So no. So the other option is, like, I guess I get a job, like a normal job, right? Like a normal fucking not being me anymore. And that's painful. It's a painful pill to swallow, but I guess it's the only one that I can see right now on the horizon. In the future, maybe something else will occur, and maybe I'll be able to use whatever capital I'm able to accrue to build that better kind of place for myself. But right now it feels like that's the direction things are going. And so I want to talk about VR now. It seems like a random tangent, but so VR future is a thing that's going to happen, whether we like it or not. Cyberpunk being dead and all, it's like the dreams of VR. If you're familiar with the tropes, like, most people are probably familiar with Ready Player One, at least. And see, I have nightmares about the future being like that. That's like the opposite of good, in my opinion. That's the direction we don't want to go. Even something like Sword Art Online is like a much better interpretation. It's like a way better interpretation of the direction we could go with this. But stuff like Bofuri is better. Really, I'd hope that it gets to the point of something like Shield Hero. If you interpret Shield Hero as a massively powerful space entity or whatever, isekaiing people, you'd have to like, in order to understand what I mean, is say, like, Log Horizon is real and done by aliens, and Shield Hero takes place in that same continuity, and then things are better that way. Like the problem with VR that I can see happening is realism, right? Because we have this tendency corporate worlds have this tendency, at least, to boil things down into their most digestible form, and it makes sense why they do this. It's like not a question mark thing, but really what they should be doing is creating a vision for a kind of future that is less acceptable now, but like stronger in the future. Because boiling down to realism and like trying to make things like, oh, you have a character avatar and they look just like you, failed. You failed miserably. You've just totally missed the whole point. You know, like being bound by things like gravity. That's basic to human nature, right? Like nobody wants to be bound by gravity, like stuck on a fucking rock. That's a fucking dumb shit. That's the shit we live with every day, and I can see VR like systems just taking it for granted that gravity is a thing that has to exist in these virtual worlds when it doesn't have to, and we can totally get rid of it easily, right? It's easy to get rid of if you just don't program it in, and so shit like that is like terrifying to me, and so you know, that's maybe a direction to apply my efforts, and since there's already these big, huge fucking companies who are invested in making that, you know, being involved in whatever way, shape, or form in order to, you know, subtly influence things as best I can, you know, as subtly as I can be. The only subtlety is my obscurity. But you know, however that works out, like I think that's not a terrible direction, at least for now. So that's what we're thinking. You know, I'm saying this as if this is a thing that I'm thinking about, when in reality this is something that's been thought about and has already been actively moving forward. There are things in motion, and so. Yeah, it's post-hoc rationalization, you know, I'm just defending my actions after having already taken them. What else do I want to say about this? Fuck the police and end poverty. Yeah. This video about how quote quote our community quote quote should make more visual novels, and the idea of doing like a visual novel dating sim. Yeah, it's a fine idea. It's a fine idea that most people can't get behind, but it's a fine idea. There's like talk about like doing gender bent versions of certain characters, etc., etc., etc. But no, it'd be better than that. I understand all the reasoning, and I agree with it all. Visual novels are great things to do. Okay, make more visual novels. But for the art community thing, visual novels don't make much sense. They're not the most sensible one. Now, what makes more sense is a fighting game. A fighting game, obviously. Of course, we already have the whatever stats for the up tilt or whatever. I seem to remember this in the Dempa bread video. Yeah, right, the Dempa bread video. Well, some places are iconic, I guess. Some places are iconic. And if I don't know. Like I'd say Lily or Osaka's room would be a good place, but you'd have to be tiny, right? You'd have to be super small in that space, because otherwise it's just too big for two people, really. So like on the desk or something would be a cool place. Can you imagine fighting on No Thank Yous, like ThinkPad as the battle arena. Because you don't have to stay realistic. That's the thing that's cool about video games. A lot of people don't get this right. A lot of people don't get this right. There's a video that I was watching. It's like realism is bad, actually. Realistic places are terrible, and not places, video games, like the graphics shouldn't aspire to realism. And it was like, yeah, no shit, you shouldn't aspire to realism, but you can use realism as a platform to jump off from. That's the nice thing about realism is it's able to be used as a platform to jump off from.